All right, looks like we're live. Appreciate everybody joining or anybody that's joined so far. Welcome back to my live. I'm doing another coding challenge today from Leetcode. This one's called Valid Palindrome. Done a couple of these in the past. Want to try to keep on the track of doing a few easy ones. I have admittedly done this one before. Doing it again for practice and bring y'all along on the journey to try to just get better at these Leetcode problems and hopefully help y'all along the way. So from there, we'll just go ahead and get started with the problem. Valid palindrome. So this is problem 125 from Leetcode, valid palindrome. The description goes as such: a phrase is a palindrome if, after converting all uppercase letters into lowercase letters and removing all alphanumeric characters, it reads the same forward and backwards. Alphanumeric characters include letters and numbers. Given a string S, return true if it's a palindrome or false otherwise. And then they give an example here of a string, this sentence with a bunch of spaces, different characters in it, different cases. And then the output is true because if you remove all the spaces, the characters, the special characters, and you make all the case lowercase, then it is a palindrome. It reads the same forward and back. So A, M, M, A, N, N. And here, race a car. Once you remove everything that's invalid, it does not read the same forward and back because EA isn't the same. So how I would typically approach a problem like this if I just hadn't seen it before, and I know it's hard to kind of go back and do that when you haven't seen it before, but I haven't done this one too many times, so it's probably good for me to kind of explain it this way. But I try to think of how would I solve it manually, like if just in my head, and try to explain that when if I'm in an interview setting. If I'm not in an interview setting, I just run through it in my head. But I mean, I know I need to at least ignore, or based on the problem, I need to ignore or remove all non-alphanumeric characters. So that means spaces, special characters, and I need to convert the case to uppercase letters. So I know I need to do that before I even start trying to figure out if it's a palindrome. So that's how I would probably explain my solution. First, I need to either ignore or remove those. And then I need to look from front and back, just like I did earlier when I was reading the solution. If at every interval, the character on the front and the back is the same. So A equals A. And then I move one space forward here, one space forward here. M and M, A and A, N and N, A and A. And I would go all the way till I got to the middle where it's A, or if it's an even number of characters, if I got to the middle, I would compare the last two numbers. And so here it's C, so C is equal to C. So if I think about that, I need to remove the blank characters, I need to remove the special characters, or I need to ignore them at least, and I need to just compare 1-to-1 on each side of the string to make sure they're equal. If I get to a point where they're not equal, then I know it's not a palindrome. I can just return false. If I get all the way to the middle and I know they're equal, then I can say that it's true. If every step of the way it was equal, then I know this is a palindrome. It reads the same back and forth, or forward and backwards. So that's how I would do the solution in my mind. How you would do that in code is another story. But if you gotten that far, you at least have a pretty good solution that is going through the string. Basically, it's looking at every character in the string to find a solution, worst case. So that's big O of N. It's linear time. It's going straight through. We're not saving anything anywhere. So the space complexity is constant. And then the time complexity, like I said, is big O of N because I'm not using any additional space to basically do this solution. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the code because I'm trying to get through these a lot faster than I usually do. But so yeah, let's start. So like I said, how I would tackle this is I would try to make sure I like clean out my input so that I only have like this kind of like raw string without the special stuff. But I probably would do that in real time as I'm solving a problem. I would just ignore those characters. So first I would try to set pointers on each side of this because I know I need to look at both ends of it. So I want to try to, when you need to traverse something, you want to start to try to like develop your pointers at what you're looking at all time, pointer or pointers. And you want to start like some sort of loop, while loop, for loop, because you need to traverse an input. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up 2 pointers, start and end. And start is going to be string, it's going to be 0. And end is going to be string length -1. And I can't type when people are watching for some reason. And then I need to go through a while loop where I'm moving my end pointer and my start pointer till they get to the same point. So in this case, you can use a while loop where you basically say start is less than or equal to end. And so that's when I'm going to stop when these both, and I'm going to increment or decrement these based on how everything's going through the loop. So here I need to figure out what my start and end is. So I will probably say like start char is s char at, and this is how you get a char out of a string. Char at start. Yeah, char at start. I'm hoping I'm doing this right. If not, y'all just gonna see me struggle. Or I'll just look up the solution. I'm not too proud to look up the solution. And so here I'm basically using the JavaScript methods char at to get the character at my start, my current start and end index. And I might just go ahead and call this start and end index because I like the clarity in that of what those actually are. So now I got start char that came from start index. And so then I basically want to look at start and end, and I want to validate my input. So I want to say validate my chars or characters. So I think there's something I can do to check, like is a letter or something, is a number, is something like that for char, is, Leetcode is malfunctioning. Oh, it's like is palindrome? Oh no, that's just carrying it from here. I think it's like is a letter. So I don't know, I can't remember what that is. Letter or number, something like that. So I'm gonna, oh shoot, y'all not even seeing what I'm typing. So I'm already on the other side. Oops, I'm sorry about that. So I'll go back through this again. What I did is set up a start index. Then I set up an end index, and I set the end index, the length of the string, and I set up a while loop here. And then also I pulled out the value for my start index and end index. And sorry I didn't have the screen on the right side, but that's basically what I've done so far. And right now I'm trying to basically validate my input, or not validate, but I'm trying to skip anything that isn't a number or a letter. So skip all these spaces and special characters. So if the start thing is not a letter or character, it's like a letter or number or something like that, I'm actually gonna look this up because I don't remember what the heck the value is, which is okay because I'm just practicing right now. So I think it's like char is alphanumeric, some kind of function for that. At least I thought there was. Now my computer wants to load really slow. Oh, maybe it isn't anything and I have to actually use some regex there. Oops. Why is this not going back? Char is alphanumeric. I thought there was a function for this, but I guess there isn't. Okay. One thing I didn't do is that I need to lowercase each of these. So that they're both lowercase. And all right, so these need to be both lowercase. That's one of my things here, is that turn them all into lowercase characters. So I'm doing that when I pull them out of the string at each interval, each index. And then if start char is a number, is a letter or a number. So here I need to still figure out how to do that. I guess I'm just gonna copy this and hope it works, and learn for the next time that I should be ready with that. Oops, I'm over here. All right, so I'm gonna copy this and use this. So now I have this. So I would need to memorize this if I was like in an interview setting or something like that. So if start char is not numeric, then what I want to do is skip it. I just want to skip past my start index, because in my thing here, I don't need to consider anything that isn't a number or a alpha character. So, and then likewise, if the end index is not, then I need to skip it by decrementing. So I'm basically moving my pointer. So like if I got to past A and it was a space, I'm moving my pointer up so I compare M to M, but I skip the space. And then likewise, like if I skip the colon or whatever. So, and then my last case, if I get, or really it's not my last case, but if start char equals end char, then I just wanna move along both things. And then the last case is if they don't equal, then I just want to break out, because like it's just false. That means that it's not a palindrome. So I should never get there if it's a palindrome. I should always either have an invalid character on the left side, valid character on the right side, or the character should be equal and I should move my pointers along. Otherwise I should return false. So this looks right to me. How long have I been going? I've probably been going longer than I should, just because I screwed up in there, but that's okay because this is not supposed to be perfect. So what I usually do here once I get to a solution is I like to run through the code manually. Even if you're practicing or if you're in an interview setting, you definitely want to do this because it helps you find bugs. It helps show how you think. And it's just better than just trying to just run it and run it and run it. Like, you actually test your code like manually. And I'll show you how I do that. I usually take every variable I have, including the S, the string. So here I'm gonna do race a car, whatever. And then since it's short, and then I'm going to what's start char. So I usually just take everything and put it here so I can like manually roll through this. And so here my start index, when I come here, my start index is 0, and then my end index is s length minus 1. So s length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Minus 1 is 9, which is kind of large for this test. Usually you want to do something short, but still good. And so that would mean my start char is, once I get in here, I check if start index is less than end index. That's true. And then start char is my start index, and then it's the end index here to get the end char. So start index is R, and R is R not alphanumeric? No. So I skip this. Is R on the end not alphanumeric? No. So I skip this. Do they equal? Yes. So I need to increment start index and decrement this index. And then I loop back up here. Is start index less than end index? Yes. What are the new values? A and A. So I mean, I'm looking at, I already kind of went through this code again, so you don't have to, once you kind of verify the code is there, you don't have to keep like going through it, I don't think. So I know A and A is equal, so I know I need to go up 1 and then down 1 again, which makes this C and C. I know these are equal again when I go through here, because I'm going through basically the same case over and over until I get to a spot where I'm not doing the same thing again. So 3 is E, and it's a space. So this is the different case. So I actually do want to look at this. So is start not an alphanumeric? No. Is end not an alphanumeric? Yes. So I'm going to move my end index. So end index is going to go down 1 more. I'm going to move into this A here. And so then that would make this A instead. So then I would get down to here again. Is this non-alphanumeric? No. Is the end character A non-alphanumeric? No. Do they equal? E and A do not equal. No. So now I've gotten to my failure case where I return false. And that is the correct answer for race a car. If you see over here for example 2. So I've tested my code manually. And once I've done that, now it's time to test it using the tools that are given on Leetcode or whatever you're using. So I like to hit this run code first, and it looks like I have an error, which I expected. So it's saying there's cannot read properties of undefined to lowercase. So I think where I messed up is, I think this is supposed to be a function. Yeah, I screwed that up. And I should have saw that when I was running through it, but I didn't. So let's try it again. Fixing bugs is cool. Got something else. I don't know why that. It's just kind of weird. Let me see if I can pull this down so I can see what's going on. To lowercase is not a function. Okay, so I think it may be to lowercase with a capital C. I think. No. And not saying C chat at, so I did a char at, so I made all kind of mistakes. So it's good. What I should have did is look a little bit more over my actual syntax here, but that's okay. And here I got, and I also didn't look at my passing case where I should have returned true. So I made a lot of mistakes in this, honestly, but hopefully I'm close to the solution. Yeah, I got the solution here finally. But sometimes you'll run into that where you miss things and you'll run it, and if you can quickly go and find what your issues are, you know, that can, and talk through them, that definitely shows something good to yourself or to an interviewer if you're doing interviews. So I want to also test another input. So I'm going to test race a car. And so Leetcode allows you to change the test case here. And we'll run that test case. Cool. So now I got 2 test case run. Now I think I could submit it to Leetcode and see what I get as far as the solution. Submitted against other people on Leetcode. So if you look over here, it's accepted through all Leetcode's testing cases. I actually did worse than the last time I did it. And even when I started, I mean, I got it wrong a bunch of times before I actually got it right, 2021. And yeah, its runtime's even less than it was before, so I probably did it more optimally before. I think it's because, I think it's this alphanumeric testing here. I feel like, I don't know, for some reason I feel like this is slowing it down just a bit, and I didn't do this last time. But anyway, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, let me know. I didn't see anything in the comments. But if you're watching this after the fact, just hit me up, follow my channel, whatever you're watching this on, page, whatever. And let me know what you want me to do in the future live, or content you just want me to post. Thanks for watching, and